Hello everyone. In this presentation we synthesize what we have learned about integrating the dominant seventh chord into a four-part musical texture. You'll see how we take a single voice, thorough bass line, and realize the bass figures in a four-voice setting. Later in this video we also mention a free public domain source of awesome practice exercises, so keep watching. Exercise 1. Here are the steps of the workflow. Copy the bass line and figures to a grand staff in your notebook, exactly as shown, in pencil. With your left hand, play the bass line on a piano keyboard and sing along, preferably in solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, etc. The rules of four-part writing are descriptive rather than prescriptive. They describe principles hashed out over several centuries, which, when applied, create a coherent interaction between four independent voice lines, easy to sing. Do you have the discipline and patience to learn to apply these rules? Based on the key signature and the final cadence, determine the key and mode of the exercise, whether major or minor. Label the key below the staff next to the bass clef sign. Use uppercase for major keys, lowercase for minor. The number over the initial bass note, in this case the figure 3, informs us that the third of the first chord is in the soprano voice. Add the soprano, alto, and tenor parts, filling out the remaining members of this first chord. Did you remember to double the bass note of this root position triad? With the bass figures and notes as guides, determine the scale degree of the root of each chord. Whether a major, minor, diminished, or augmented triad is called for, and if a four-note dominant seventh chord is required. Write corresponding upper and lowercase Roman numerals below the base of every chord. Next, work out the realization of the upper voices. There is likely more than one correct realization. Use pencil and don't be afraid to experiment or even start over at times. Label your final cadence. This may be perfect or imperfect authentic, plagal, or another type of cadence. Check your work, then play the exercise on the piano keyboard. You may also test the singability of your work by assigning parts to a soprano, alto, tenor, bass chorus of fellow classmates. Listen. Be sure to let us know if our realizations contain any errors. Now go on to the next exercise. Follow the same steps. Transcribe the bass and figures to a grand staff, play the bass line, and sing along in unison. Determine and label the key and mode. The first chord, with soprano as marked. Add Roman numerals, showing roots of major, minor, diminished, or augmented triads, also seventh chords. Realize the upper voices. There is often more than one right way to accomplish this. Final cadence. check your work. Play and sing through the parts with your vocal group. Now you're ready to go on to the rest of the exercises. In addition to the exercises we just realized, Yodison's Manual of Harmony contains 10 more at the end of Chapter 8, pages 66 and 67. See links in the description. Work out the realizations of as many as you can, and let us know of any difficulties you may have. There will likely be more than one possible correct realization of each thorough bass line. We'll be happy to produce a supplementary video on any of the remaining exercises if someone requests assistance. Your donation will be put to good use. As stated previously, this manual is public domain, so there is no infringement of copyright. Thank you for watching. If you like what you are learning, feel free to share a link to the video. Post questions in a comment. If you subscribe for updates from YouTube, be sure to tap the bell next to the subscribe button on the video watch page.